Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and today I thought I'd do something for Halloween and present this ghost, the Ghost Rider. And the Ghost Rider was created by an artist named Dick Ayers way back in the 1950s in a magazine or a company, comic book company called Magazine Enterprises. In 1967, Dick Ayers again was tapped to recreate his character, but a totally different incarnation. Um, he's not Rex Fury as he was in the Magazine Enterprises comic book. In this case, he's Carter Slade, a school teacher who comes to the West to bring um, school teaching to kids out in the Western frontier. As he's going, he runs into an ambush where a family of three, I guess, the two parents are killed and the young boy survives. He too, as he tries to get involved and rescue the situation, and of course, not wisely, he gets shot by these people who are masquerading as indigenous people, as Indians, as it says in the story. And as a result, he falls almost to his death, both the boy and him, the surviving child. And he is eventually rescued by a friendly indigenous tribe who raise him back to health and prophesy that he is the spirit that rides the night winds, the Ghost Rider. And in this beautiful cover, it's one of the best by Dick Ayers, and there's more to come. It's a 7-issue run of beautiful covers from 1967 on. And I diligently, when I found out about this character, diligently sought out to collect the entire run plus, and I'll show you what I mean. So the Ghost Rider from 1967, Gary Friedrich wrote the story. It was edited by Roy Thomas and published by Marvel Comics. This is cover dated February 1967. So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2 is this one, and it features the macabre menace of the tarantula. The Ghost Rider, and we'll do a deep dive, and you'll see some of it on the covers, but more so on the interior, was meant by his costume to scare the bad guys into submission and have them turn away from evil. He was completely dressed in white and completely masked, so there was no hint as to what his alter ego was. This is a fascinating run, and you'll see why towards the end of the run. So Carter Slade was the alter ego. This is issue number 3, and the villain here is a guy named the Cougar. Nice cover. It shows some of the magic kind of glow-in-the-dark type of ghostly apparition he was to the bad guys. And here he pretty much dominates this cougar who's running a part of a traveling circus and who's out to tame cougars. And then he turns out to be a bad guy. And here's another one. This is number 4, and this one another beautiful cover, one of the better covers in the run. And this has the Stingray as the antagonist in the story. So a startling guest appearance by the wild western villain you have destined for greatness. Who is he? You'll see inside, pard. And that's number 4. This is number 5. This is the tarantula. And that's the return of one of the recurring villains in the 7-issue run. And here you have a super-powered warrior, and behold, a flaming star. So there's that one. And this is one of my favorite covers. And this is the end, the last one in the series. And this one is The Macabre Mystery of Massacre Mountain. And it was sad that they stopped with this number 7 because it leaves everything hanging. But fortunately, this was from 1968. So fortunately, the series did continue on in a title called Western Gunfighters. And that's this one right here. And what left us hanging, it was continued here in Western Gunfighters number 1. Some feature original stories. Yeah, The Man from Fort Rango, The Renegades, and The Gunhawk were all original stories. And this is issue number 2. And the rest of these, like Man from Cheyenne and Apache Kid, were reprints. But the Ghost Rider issue was an original story. So that's The Guns of the Ghost Rider, where he's featured prominently on the cover. And here we have issue number 3. You have a character that's called the Black Mask, but that's not the Black Mask. That's the Black Rider, as he was initially called back in the pages of the early Atlas Comics adventures. I have a few of the Black Riders with the nice, all masked, just like the Ghost Rider, all in black. The Ghost Rider was a ghost, all in white. So that's number 3 of Western Gunfighters. This is from December 1970. The next one is from February 1971. This is issue number 4. It's a rough copy of Western Gunfighters number 4, giant-sized. Let's see who's in there. So the Black Rider's in there as the Black Mask, an original called the Renegades. And this one features a meeting of the 2 lead protagonists in the anthology book, the Gunhawk and the Ghost Rider. And here's issue number 5. There's something special about issue number 5. And Carter Slade actually gets killed in this issue. He gets killed, or he gets shot anyway. I think he gets killed, dies, is in the next issue. So we'll look at those. That's that. And this is where he actually gets killed. This is issue number 6. So that's the death of Carter Slade. The story you thought you'd never see, the death of the Ghost Rider. And he does actually get killed. The cover artist here is interesting. He's a guy named John Severin. John Severin was known for his Western art. There's this cover, which is one of his better ones. And I think my favorite is coming up. And I'll show it to you. It's this one. And this is Back from the Dead. And there's some reprints, and it's not the best copy of that book, but it has John Severin on the cover and signed. And that's when his brother actually takes over the role of the Ghost Rider. All right. I love the Western cover. It's something about John Severin's work that makes Westerns look actually notable and real. All right, so that's that one. But that would not be the end of the Ghost Rider, and not the Western Ghost Rider, because he would reappear. He would reappear, drawn by the creator again back in the 1990s. And this is actually a reprint. This is called the original Ghost Rider, and it's a reprint. I believe the interior art of the motorcycle riding Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. The interior art is a reprint of one of the early issues by Mike Ploog, the creator of the original Ghost Rider. But in the back pages is the Phantom Rider. And the Phantom Rider is none other than our Ghost Rider, our Western Ghost Rider. And so I managed to collect. We'll go into a deep dive, and I'll show you what he looks like. I'll show you the issue number 1, and I'll show you the interior of issue number 3. The first reappearance, I should say, not the first, but the reappearance of the Ghost Rider, renamed as the Phantom Rider. All right, so that's issue number 3, and then there's issue number 4, again, reprints of the original Ghost Rider, the motorcycle riding Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. But I bought this set, all in a set, only to pick up those Dick Ayers Ghost Riders. All right, so there's issue number 7. There's 2 of them, actually. And this is issue number 9, number 11. I'm missing a couple. Again, these are reprints of the original Ghost Rider, the original motorcycle riding Ghost Rider. All right, so that's 12, 15, 16, 17, and 19. So I'm missing a few of them. This is actually a reprint from Marvel 2-in-1 with the Thing and the original Ghost Rider. All right, so we'll pause, and then we'll take a perspective look at first we'll look at issue number 1 of the Ghost Rider, and then we'll look at issue number 3, the first reappearance of the Ghost Rider as drawn by Dick Ayers, the original creator, but renamed as the Phantom Rider. All right, pause it here. All right, so this is a good minus copy of the Ghost Rider. And here we have our lead protagonist, Carter Slade, coming into the scene of a band of what looks to be like indigenous people attacking a homestead. As we later find out, these are not indigenous people, but really people trying to, or masked as indigenous, trying to take over a property, it looks like. And then we have the young boy waking up. He was hidden in a cellar so that he could survive. His family saved his life. And this is Carter Slade, the lead protagonist in our story, the good guy. And this is how he's transformed into the Ghost Rider. He is sort of like the serial The Phantom Rider, actually. It's a similar plot and story from a serial story called The Phantom Rider from 1946. And there he is. He's given a new horse. The horse is called Banshee. So just playing on the tropes. And here he is, the Ghost Rider, all masked and ready to play his role. And you can see he is using, and Dick Ayers once commented that he used this paneling to convey a kind of somber or macabre kind of voice. And this is how our story goes. It's very text heavy. The writing here is written by, as I said, Gary Friedrich. And there we go, the Ghost Rider putting the fear into the bad guys. All right. is doing his thing. Total ghost, all through trick shots and stuff like that. Just a very text-heavy story. It's a long read, but quite enjoyable actually. And we have a reprint from Kid Cold Outlaw number 105. All right. So that's issue number 1. The origin of the Ghost Rider. All right. So what I thought I'd show is also issue number 6 of Western Gunfighters. And you have Here Now Rides the Pale Horseman, Death, a journey to the dark side of the trail with writer Len Wein and artist Dick Ayers. The inker is Sid Shores. There you see him putting on his mask. And here's our preacher. And here's our paramour, Miss Natalie. The preacher's named Reverend Reaper, with the perpetual smile, beautifully drawn actually by Ayers, conveying the story. And there he is. He's the bad guy of the piece. And what does happen? Too late. The frontier phantom hurtles through the air, and I've got to get him out of the way before it's too late. And he who was called the Ghost Rider disappears under the rubble. And what happens? He's dead. So he dies in this piece. And then you hear, this is actually a Black Rider, and the artist here is Sid Shores, signed. All right. That's number 6. These were a lot of fun to collect. This is issue number 7, and it's the continuing on the saga of the Ghost Rider. So just look. More Western Winners. And so here, these are anthology books. They're thick. That's why they're 25 cents. And this is a fair copy, but all intact, staples tight, and so on. So the Never Say Die, and here Carter Slade is being buried. Again, drawn by Dick Ayers and inks art by Sid Shores. Editor is Stan Lee, and Len Wein is the writer. And of course, Carter Slade dies, and his brother, Lincoln Slade, takes over as the Ghost Rider, not to be put down. All you have to do is be like Halloween and just dress up. And again, it's Flaming Star who gives him the mask and the wherewithal to become the Ghost Rider. And then we have a retelling of the previous stories. There he is, Carter Slade. His tombstone. And this story never showed up, as far as I know. He who slays my brother. It says, somehow you know the answer rests in the ivory white costume before you. It doesn't take you long to put it on. Perhaps this costume is a curse. It's only as strong as the man who wears it, and Lincoln Slade is wearing it now. I know all of Carter's tricks, his secrets, and I guess I'm as ready as I'll ever be. There are things to be done before the Ghost Rider can earn his final rest. And there's a nice, beautifully drawn story. Now, the artist of this story, this is a Black Rider story. I'm never sure. Anyway, so that's that. Fun to collect, but not to be put down. Dick Ayers was to return. We'll just look in the interior here, and you'll see that this is Mike Ploog and the Johnny Blaze. This is a reprint, obviously, of the original Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, written by Gary Friedrich, same writer who wrote the Western Ghost Rider. But let me just flip to the back, and we'll encounter our interesting. Ploog is a great artist, by the way. Always liked his work. And here it is, The Phantom Rider in Secrets from Beyond the Grave. So this is actually one of his best work, Dick Ayers, that is. This is the Ghost Rider is best, and I've tried to complete the collection, but these are harder to find. They tended to have a low print run. Anyway, the story is by Dan Slott, and the art, of course, is Dick Ayers. And this is at his best. There he is, in all his glory, returned. Just a 3-page story, very short. The other stories that appear in this book, the original Ghost Rider title, are longer. So they tend to be like 5 to 6 pages long. All right, so this is my Halloween presentation, and there's no other better way to present this this series other than to talk about ghosts and the Ghost Rider. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.